You said that your conversation with James Hollis, a Jungian psychoanalyst, had a big impact on you. What do you mean?
James Hollis is a 84-year-old Jungian psychoanalyst who's written 17 books, including Under Saturn's Shadow, which is on the healing and trauma of men, the Eden Project, which is about relationships and creating a life. I discovered James Hollis in an online lecture that was recorded, I think, in San Diego. It's on YouTube. The audio is terrible, called Creating a Life. And this was somewhere in the 2011 to 2015 span. I can't remember. And I was on my way to Europe, and I called my girlfriend at the time. I was like, I just found the most incredible lecture I've ever heard. And he talks about the shadow. He talks about your developmental upbringing and how you either align with or go 180 degrees off your parents' tendencies and values in certain areas. He talked about the specific questions to ask of oneself at different stages of life to live a full life. So it's always been a dream of mine to meet him and to record a podcast. And he wasn't able to travel, so our team went out to DC and sat down with him. We rarely do that nowadays. People come to our studio. And he came in, he had some surgeries recently, and he kind of came in with some assistance from a cane, and then sat down and just blew my mind. From start to finish, he didn't miss a syllable. And every sentence that he spoke was like a quotable sentence with real potency and actionable items. I think one of the things that was most striking to me was how he said, when we take ourselves out of stimulus and response and we just force ourselves to spend some time in the quiet of our thoughts while walking or while seated or while lying down, it doesn't have to be meditation, but it could be, that we access our unconscious mind in ways that reveals to us who we really are and what we really want. And that if we do that practice repeatedly, 10 minutes a day here, 15 minutes a day there, that we start to really touch into our unique gifts and the things that make us each us and the directions we need to take. But that so often we just stay in stimulus response. We just do, which is great. We have to be productive. But we miss those important messages. And interestingly, he also put forward this idea of, what is it? It's like get up, shut up, suit up. Yeah, something like that. Like get out of bed, suit up, and shut up and get to work. He also has that in him, kind of a Goggins type mindset.
So be able to turn off all this self-reflection and self-analysis and just get shit done.
But then also take dedicated time and stop and just let stuff geyser to the surface from the unconscious mind. And he quotes Shakespeare, and he quotes Jung, and he quotes everybody through history with incredible accuracy and in exactly the way needed to drive home a point. But that conversation to me was one that I really felt like, okay, if I don't wake up tomorrow for whatever reason, that one's in the can, and I feel really great about it. To me, it's the most important guest recording we've ever done, in particular because he has wisdom. And while I hope he lives to be 204, chances are he's got another, 20, 30 years with us, hopefully more. But I really, really wanted to capture that information and get it out there. So I'm very, very proud of that one. And he's the kind of guy that anyone listens to him, young, old, male, female, whatever, and you're going to get something of value.
What do you think about this idea of the shadow? That the good and the bad that we repress, that hides from plain sight when we analyze ourselves, that's there. You think there's like a ocean that we don't have direct access to?
Yes. Yeah. Jung said it, we have all things inside of us, and we do. And some people are more in touch with those than others, and some people it's repressed. I mean, does that mean that we could all be, horrible people or marvelous people, benevolent people? Perhaps. I think that thankfully, more often than not, people lean away from the violent and harmful parts of their shadow. But I think spending time thinking about, one's shadows is super important. How else are we going to grow? Otherwise, we have these unconscious blind spots of denial or repression or whatever, the psychiatrists tell us. But yeah, it clearly exists within all of us. I mean, we have neural circuits for rage. We all do. We have neural circuits for altruism. And no one's born without these things. And some people they're atrophied and some people they're hypertrophied. But looking inward and recognizing what's there is key.